Eskişehir teşkilatımızın kıymetli mensupları,
Esteemed members of our Eskişehir organization, and
efendiler,
ladies
beyefendiler,
and gentlemen,
sevgili genç
and
kardeşlerim,
dear youth,
değerli dava ve yol
and my
arkadaşlarım,
friends on this journey and in
sizleri
this
en
cause,
kalbi
I greet all
duygularımla,
of you with my most
hasretle,
heartfelt sentiments
muhabbetle
and with great
selamlıyorum.
longing and love.
Buradan Eskişehir'in tüm ilçelerine,
So from here
tüm
to all the
mahallelerine,
districts of Eskişehir
hanelerine
and all
yürekten
neighborhoods and
selamlıyorum.
all households, we send our greetings
Sizlerin
to each one
şahsında
of them. And
Sizlerin şahsında
and through you,
Eskişehir'in teşkilatımızın her bir mensubu
I thank every
salonlara
member
sığmayan
of our Eskişehir
tüm coşkunuz
organization
ve
uh,
ahde vefanız
because
için
of your loyalty
şahsım
and your
adına,
great enthusiasm,
partim
which
yönetim
doesn't fit
adına
into this hall.
teşekkür
I
ediyorum.
thank you on behalf of myself and the administration of my political party.
Rabbim muhabbetimizi,
May God
dayanışmamızı
always
daim eylesin diyorum.
increase our solidarity and our
Eskişehir İl
mutual love.
Başkanımıza ve il
I
yönetimimize
thank the
böyle güzel bir atmosferde
chairman of the
gönüllerimizi
Eskişehir
buluşturdukları için
organization and his team
şükranlarımı
for
sunuyorum.
bringing us together in this great atmosphere.
Eskişehir genişletilmiş il danışma toplantımızın
I hope
partimiz
that
ve
the Eskişehir
teşkilatımız için
expanded
hayırlara vesile
provincial
olmasını
advisory
diliyorum.
meeting will be auspicious for
Kuruluşundan
our
bugüne kadar
party and for the
Eskişehir
province.
teşkilatımızda görev
Since
alan
its
tüm
foundation,
kardeşlerimize
many of our
emekleri,
brothers and sisters have worked
sadakatleri
in
için
our
teşekkür
Eskişehir
ediyorum.
organization, and I
Bu
thank them for their
kardeşlerimizden
efforts and
dar
their
bekaya
loyalty to our cause.
uğurladıklarımıza
And
Allah'tan
those who
rahmet,
have passed away, I wish God's
yakınlarına ve
blessings on their
sevenlerine
souls, and
sabrı
I
cemil
wish
niyaz ediyorum.
condolences to their
Her
friends
zaman altını
and their
çizerek
loved ones
söylüyorum.
and families. And as
Dünkü
I
günlere
always underline,
büyük ve güçlü
we
Türkiye
were
sevdasına
able
gönül
to
veren
come to
isimsiz
this present
kahramanların
day thanks to the
fedakarlıklarıyla
efforts
geldik.
and sacrifices of
Biz
the
bugünlere
unnamed heroes
milletimizin
who believed
tarih
in the
sahnesinde hak
cause of
ettiği
a
yeri
big and
alması
strong
için
Turkey.
gece
We
gündüz
were able
çalışan
to come to the present
emektarlarımızın
day
gayretleriyle
thanks
geldik.
to the efforts of those who
Bugünlere
worked day and
yılın her
night,
gününü, günün 24
thanks to the
saatini
efforts of
kendini
those
bu
who worked
davaya
every day of the
hizmete
year and
adayan
24 hours
kardeşlerimizin
every day, who
mücadelesiyle
dedicated
geldik.
themselves to this cause,
Bugünlere
thanks to their
gece
struggle.
uykusunu bölerek
We were able to
partimizin
arrive at the
başarısı için
present day thanks to
Mevla'ya
the
her
efforts
akşam
of those who
dua
prayed in the
eden,
middle of the night,
gözyaşı döken
waking
büyüklerimizin
themselves from their sleep,
samimiyetiyle geldik.
thanks to the frankness and the
Biz bugünlere
sincerity of those
hakkın
prayers,
rızasını gözeterek halkımıza
thanks to those
aşkla
who
hizmet ettiğimiz,
try to
hizmetkar
serve
olduğumuz
our
için geldik.
nation with great love
Hepsinden
for
önemlisi,
the pleasure of
biz
God,
bugünlere
and most
niyetimizi
importantly,
temiz tuttuğumuz
we were able to
kibre,
come to the present
gurura,
level
tekebbüre,
because of our clean
nefsimizi
intentions and
kaptırmadığımız için
thanks to
geldik.
not giving in to arrogance.
Partimizi kuruluşundan 1,5 yıl sonra
A year and a half after the foundation of our party, it was brought to power. And despite every challenge that we have faced, this was the very spirit that kept us the first party. Our path is the path of Kılıç Arslan II, the great commander who conquered Eskişehir.
Sevgili gençler, bizim yolumuz Eskişehir'in manevi muhafızı
Our path
Aşık Yunus'un yolu.
is the path of poet Yunus, who is the spiritual guardian of the province of Eskişehir. Our path is the path of the veterans and martyrs of Eskişehir who fought against the enemy and saved it from them. Our path is the path of those who are ready to sacrifice their lives to protect their future, their independence, and their flag. Our path is the path of those brave soldiers. In this long journey, we are marching with our chins held high for 20 years now. With the same love and the same enthusiasm as the first day, we continue serving our august nation without making any discrimination, without alienating anyone. We are trying to embrace all 84 million citizens. We don't have discrimination.
Gençler gördüğünüz gibi dimdik ayaktayız.
As you can see, we're standing strong.
Milletimizin kardeşliğini güçlendirmek dışında
We only try to strengthen the brotherhood of our nation. We don't have any other goal, and we never did. And I would like to emphasize and underline here that just like in the past, today, peace and stability in Turkey, development and stability is assured by AK Party and the People's Alliance.
Son 19 yılda karşılaştığımız nice badireyi nasıl suhuletle
In the past
atlattıysak,
19 years, we have faced many challenges, but we were able to overcome them. And in the year 2023, we will celebrate the centennial of our republic. And in that peace and stability will bring our country to that important year.
Kardeşlerim, kardeşlerim, dünyanın en büyük 10 ekonomisinden biri olma hedefimize
We have the goal of being one of the top 10 economies of the world, and we are going to reach that goal. And on this journey, without cutting our speed, without dropping our tempo, we continue our efforts. The Turkish economy grows with investment, production, exports, and employment. In order to elevate the Turkish economy on these pillars, we are working both inside and outside our borders. Since the beginning of the week, I have held a visit to Africa which covered 4 countries. This was, for instance, the visit to Angola was the first from Turkey at the presidential level, and in this visit we have signed 7 agreements. In Togo, similarly, in order to strengthen the opportunities of cooperation between our countries, we have held very fruitful talks. And in the same country, in Togo, by inviting some of the neighboring countries there, we have had a meeting with Burkina Faso there, and with the 4 countries in Togo, we have held talks which have been very meaningful. Africa has a population nearing to Nigeria is the most populous country of Africa with 210 million. So from defense to health in a number of important areas, we took some significant decisions. Until 20 years ago, these were places where Turkey had no presence. Turkey did not know about those places. It did not recognize them. These places were places where people did not know about Turkey. These were places that were considered too far away to our country. But today, in every part of the continent, you can see Turkish products, Turkish companies, and the helping hand of our country and our people extended to those places through NGOs, and I am proud as a son of this nation. Before us, before our time in power, our country was not present in African countries, but today, thankfully, we have a trade exceeding $25 billion.
Tabii Türk müteahhitler kıtanın dört bir yanında
Turkish builders are carrying out projects in different corners of the continent, and these are mega projects amounting to multiple millions of dollars. All over Africa, we have more than $6 billion in investment. There are some countries which are inviting us to build more airports. Some countries greet us in the airports and buildings and roads and ports that were built by Turkish companies. More than 10,000 young people who have graduated from Turkish universities are serving their own communities as our ambassadors. Our producers, merchants, NGOs, our diplomats, our politicians have an important effort. And this success came to the efforts of them, and this is our shared success. Turkey, not only in the continent of Africa, but from Asia to Latin America, from the Caribbean to the Far East, in different regions, Turkey is making new achievements, and this is our shared achievement. The export figures of our country are increased, and the production capacity is strengthened, and more investment is going to be attracted to our country, and nobody should be offended by such efforts, but rather everyone should be proud of them.
Sevgili gençler, şunu genç arkadaşlarınıza
Dear youth,
iyi anlatın.
please explain the following to your friends very well. Those who have a limited vision, those with a vision that cannot go beyond Ankara. Unfortunately, those circles do not understand or appreciate our multidimensional foreign policy, or those who have sold their minds to the enemies of Turkey. They do not understand the steps that we take, and actually they take offense. People who have never conducted trade themselves, have never bought and sold goods, and know nothing about production, exports, or investment or quality. These unqualified circles are asking, what is Turkey doing in Africa? The same question is also being asked by the known colonialists with their legionnaires in Turkey. Turkey is fighting for the ideal of a fairer world, and this is of course disturbing the colonialists and their extensions within us. They do not face their bloody history with Africa, but they are rather trying to blame Turkey. But we do not take them into consideration. Are you not the ones who massacred 1 million people in Algeria, or 1 million in Nigeria, or 900,000 people in Rwanda? Who are these? This is the West. France is the ones who conducted these. They cannot teach us anything about humanity. They should first learn themselves what humanity means. They should learn it from Turkey. Because those who criticize us because of our African policy the response that they deserve is first given to them by our brothers and sisters from Africa. One of the most important pieces of our global vision is our cooperation with the African continent. And even if it offends the colonialists and their fifth arm activities inside us, fifth column activities inside us, we will continue our cooperation.
Değerli kardeşlerim, yurt dışında bu adımları atarken
As we take such steps outside, we do not ignore our own country. On the one hand, we open new doors for our exporters. On the other hand, we introduce new investments and new services to our people. Almost every week, we visit a different province of our country and we inaugurate collectively the facilities that have been built, and we share the excitement with our nation. For instance, the previous week we were in Adana, an investment, public investment of 2.2 billion and a private investment of 1.8 billion dollars have been officially inaugurated. On the same day, towards the end of the day, one of the most strategic industrial facilities of our country, the propane production facility in Ceyhan, has been inaugurated. The ground has been broken for it. And then in Ankara, with a budget of 1 billion liras, our ministry has carried out a project for 1,000 schools for vocational training, and we have carried out the completion program, a ceremony of that project. And today in Eskişehir, we continue our service projects.
maşallah. İl danışma toplantımızın ardından
After our provincial advisory meeting, we will attend the opening of the Chinese company Hayer's new facility in this country, in this province, and 50 new factories and infrastructure facilities will be officially inaugurated today. It will be followed by our program in the provincial square, in which we will inaugurate projects which were completed by the municipalities and other public institutions. The total sum of these 106 projects in total amounts to 2.7 billion liras.
Ak kadınlar burada da, ak gençler nerede? Şimdi ben size ne anlatıyorum?
So what is the message that I'm giving you?
Diyorum ki şu tesisler,
I'm
bu tesis,
saying, I'm talking about different facilities.
düşünün. Yaklaşık
Only the last two that I have
160 ayrı
mentioned.
tesis.
These are 160 different facilities, and some of them
Peki,
are international.
ya bu ana muhalefet CHP.
But what about the main opposition
Ya
party,
Eskişehir'de
the CHP,
bunların nesi var?
Republican People's Party? What have they achieved in
Yaptıkları
Eskişehir?
hangi eser var?
What have they built for Eskişehir?
Yok.
They have nothing.
Bunlardan bol bol nasihat dinlersiniz.
You can only hear advice from them.
Hep söylüyorum ya.
As I always say, as the poet Ziya Pasha said,
Bizimkiler böyle işte. Hele hele bir de adı Hamza olunca
our children are like this, especially if they're called Hamza.
benim torun Hamza Salih.
My grandson is called Hamza Salih, and he is called Hamza as well.
Öyle mi? Hamza Musab. Maşallah. Evet. Biz Ziya Paşa'nın sözüyle hep konuşuyoruz.
So, as the poet Ziya Pasha says,
Ölür kalır semeri,
when a donkey dies,
insan ölür kalır
nothing is left from it, but when a human being dies, he is remembered by his works.
Biz eserlerimizde konuşuyoruz.
So we talk in
Onlar
our activities, our
şimdi gelirken
projects, but they,
şehir hastanesinin önünden geçtik.
for instance, on the way here, we passed by the city hospital, and this is what we have achieved. It is a
Eskişehir
huge
Şehir Hastanesi.
Eskişehir urban hospital, and thankfully.
Nasıl şehir hastanesinden memnun musun?
Are you happy about the city hospital?
İnşallah
And hopefully,
bunlar tabii ardı ardına devam ediyor.
such
Bugün
projects
Millet
continue,
Bahçesi'nin
and today
açılışını da yapacağız.
we will do the inauguration of the garden, the nation's garden as well, and hopefully,
Eskişehir'imize
in the best
kazandırmış olduk.
way possible, we have made
Eskişehir'i
such a
hedeflerine bir
park
adım daha
available to the
yaklaştıran
residents of
tüm bu
Eskişehir.
yatırımların
All such
şehrimize
investments
ve
bring
siz
Eskişehir a
Eskişehirli
step closer to
kardeşlerime
its goals,
hayırlı olmasını
and may they
diliyorum.
be auspicious to the city and its residents.
Bu eserlerin inşasına katkı sunan,
I congratulate everyone who contributed to such projects, the architects, the engineers, the workers, and the private
resmi kurumlarımıza
industry
kadar
undertakers and
şahsen
public
ve
institutions.
milletim
I
adına
thank
teşekkür
all of
ediyorum.
them on behalf of my nation
Allah
and myself.
Allah ömür, millet de yetki
As long
versin.
as God gives us
Eskişehir'de
life and our
diğer
nation
80
gives us the
vilayetimizin
permission,
içinde
both for
çalışmayı
Eskişehir
sürdüreceğiz.
and our 80
Tabii bunun
provinces,
için
we will continue
önümüzdeki
working for them.
1,5 yılı
And
çok iyi
for that, of course,
değerlendirmemiz
we have to
gerekiyor.
use the next year and a half very well.
Eskişehir 2023'te sandıkları patlatmaya var mıyız?
Are we ready to win at the
Var mıyız?
polls in 2023?
Var mıyız?
Are we ready?
Durmak yok.
We will
yola devam.
continue working.
Çok çalışacağım.
We will work very hard.
Ana kademe,
The main
kadın
organization, the women's
gençlik
branch,
kolları,
the
kapı
youth
kapı
branch,
çok dolaşacağız.
We have to go door to door.
İşte sizler de görüyorsunuz.
And as you can also
Senesi
witness,
yaklaştıkça
as the year 2023 nears, the opposition, which is led by CHP, their provocations and their actions increase, their bluntness increases. In order to pollute the environment, they are trying everything, including the terror of lies. They turn a blind eye to the corruption, the harassment, the rape, and the theft which is boiling in their party. And in order to cover those up from our nation, they are using every method. They provoked our citizens against asylum seekers, and they tried to also provoke our young people on the day they were supposed to take the university entrance exam. They also try to provoke the university students through dormitories. They try to threaten judges, teachers, and policemen. And they said everything to the public officers and to teachers. They threatened them very openly. Why? And who are you to threaten my public officers? Who are you to threaten my police? Who are you to threaten those who try to work in this country, work honestly? There is no segment of our society, and I'd like to call out to the public officers of our country: do not fall for these traps. As long as you fulfill your duties as public officers, they cannot do any harm to you. They're only
Değerli kardeşlerim, şu anda yönetiminde olduğu belediyelerde
at the municipalities that they are ruling, they are laying off our worker brothers and sisters, but they will pay the price for it, because when you hurt the innocent, you always pay the price for it, and they will. There is no section of our nation who was not threatened by the Republican People's Party. There is no segment of our society who was not attacked by the terror of lies of CHP. And they are doing this in such a cowardly way that I can only feel embarrassment on their behalf as a politician. In the past, they tried to start a trend called the new CHP. From the person leading the political party to some columns, everyone claimed that CHP had now changed from its previous coup plotting codes. And there were some among us who used similar words about CHP as well. But after the election, their masks fell down, and the new CHP re-emerged as an updated version of the single-party fascism. What they called the new CHP was as fascist as the 1940s, and as arrogant and as rude in their mentality. The coup plotting and fascist codes of CHP cannot be shaken down, and we already knew this, but during this process our nation was able to witness the reality as well. Only in the past weeks, the things we have experienced have demonstrated to us once again how heavy a burden we carry on our shoulders. In the past 20 years, we have left our mark in this country, and we do not have even a single second to waste.
Ben özellikle Eskişehir'in analarına
I
çok güveniyorum.
especially have my trust in the mothers of Eskişehir. I fully believe them.
Ve Eskişehir'in anaları
The mothers of Eskişehir,
inşallah
hopefully,
23'ü CHP'ye zindan edecektir.
they will win the victory against CHP in 2023.
Ama çok çalışacağız.
But we have to work
Milletimiz
very
bizden
hard.
hizmet bekliyor.
Our nation expects services from us.
Milletimiz bizden
Our
hak ve
nation
özgürlüklerine
expects rights
sahip
and
çıkmamızı
freedoms.
bekliyor.
Expects us to
Milletimiz
protect
bizden
their rights and
demokratik
freedoms and
kazanımlarının
expects
korunması
us
için
to preserve
fazla
the democratic
çalışmamızı bekliyor.
gainings and expects us to
Milletimiz
work
bizden
harder for this goal.
büyük ve güçlü
Our
Türkiye'yi
nation
inşa
expects
etmemizi,
us to build the big
ülkemizi
and strong
2023
Turkey
hedefleriyle
and
buluşturmamızı
to bring
bekliyor.
our country to
Onca
its
iftiraya,
2023 goals.
yalana,
Despite all the
hüsrana
lies, slander,
milletimiz
and
bize
slander,
güveniyor,
our nation
inanıyor,
fully trusts us,
kendisini ve
it
evlatlarının
believes in
geleceğini
us,
AK
and
Parti'de
they
ve
see
Cumhur
the
İttifakı'nda
future
görüyor.
of themselves and their children in the AK Party and the People's Alliance.
Allah razı olsun. Sağ olun, var olun.
Thank you.
AK Parti teşkilatları olarak
As the AK Party
milletimize olan
organizations,
borcumuzu ancak
we
ülkemize
can
daha
only
çok
pay
hizmet
back
ederek
our nation
ödeyebiliriz.
only by serving our country more.
Ulaşamadığımız, kapısını çalmadığımız, tasasına
There should be
veya
no one
sevincine
who we
ortak
cannot reach
olmadığımız
out
her
to
insanımızın
or knock on the
vebali
door of
bizlerin
or
üzerindedir.
share the burden of. Otherwise, we
Bugünden
would carry
itibaren
the spiritual burden for
2023
this.
seçimlerine kadar
From today
her
until the
çalışmayı
2023
işte
elections,
bu anlayışta
at
yürüteceğiz.
every work that we do, we will have this philosophy. Do we agree on this?
Anlaştık mı?
Do we agree?
Durmak yok, yola devam diyor muyuz?
Will we continue
Eski Türkiye özlemiyle yanıp tutuşanların karşısına büyük ve güçlü
against
Türkiye
those who would like to
vizyonuna
see the
daha
old
sıkı şekilde
Turkey?
sarılarak
We will
çıkacağız.
protect even better our vision for the new and strong Turkey.
Muhalefetin nefret ve tehdit siyasetini her zaman olduğu gibi
As we
yine
always
eser
do, as the opposition
ve
uses
kardeşlik siyasetimizde
defamation and slanders, we will
başarısızlığa
continue failing them with
AK
our
Parti'nin
politics
yaptığı
of services and brotherhood.
reformları,
The
ülkemize
reforms,
kazandırdığı
the
eserleri
services, and the projects that were made
doğru bir
possible by AK
şekilde
Party should be
halkımıza
communicated in the right way and in a good way to
sadece
our
bilmemiz yetmez.
people. It's not enough for us to
Bildiklerimizi
know it, we should also communicate what we know to those who do not know about them.
En yakınımızdakiler bile
Even those who are closest to us may not know about many of these.
evdeki evladın bilmiyor, evladın.
Sometimes your own
Onun için bunları anlatacağım.
son or daughter at home does
Neler
not
yaptık?
know about what we have achieved. So we
Bu
have
ülkeye
to
neler kazandırdık?
tell them, we have to tell them what we
Bunları
have
anlatmamız lazım.
made possible for this country. We have to explain these, otherwise it would be in vain.
Sizlerden önümüzdeki dönemde
And
çok
I
daha
expect you in the upcoming period to be
çok
more
daha gayretli
active
olmanızı istiyorum.
and put out more efforts.
Rabbim yar ve yardımcımız olsun.
And may God help us.
Toplantımızın hayırlara vesile
I
olmasını
hope that our
diliyorum.
meeting
Sizleri
will
bir
be
kez daha
auspicious.
saygıyla
And
selamlıyorum.
once again, I greet
Allah'a emanet
all of
ediyorum.
you. I trust you to
Kalın
God.
sağlıcakla.
AK Parti Genel Başkanı
Belediye başkanlarımızı, il başkanımı şöyle yanıma alayım.
The mayors and the provincial chairman,
belediye başkanlarımız ve il başkanımız Zihni Çalışkan'ı sahneye davet ediyoruz.